For everyone in 1984 that saw the movie The Terminator and thought, man, this is possible, and we're a little bit scared, well, that day has come, because it looks like AI is taking over in 2023.
This is Don't Fear Grit with Rob Taormina. Marketing strategies and advertising technologies to help you build a better business.
What's up, and welcome back to Don't Fear Grit. Today, we're going to be talking about a special sector of technology, AI, and the fact that in 2023, that the prediction is that it is going to be taking over. AI is a really cool thing. It's a cool piece of tech, and I think most people have played around with some form of AI, and I think there's an argument to be made that probably everyone actually has used some form of AI already on a small scale or on a sort of a weak AI integration scale. And that really comes in the form of, for example, Siri, Amazon Alexa, Google Home. I think that really gave the general consumer market a crash course in how AI functions. But that's really just the fun form of AI. There's really high levels of AI that has already been working, but hasn't really been accessible to the general consumer market, either because it was too complicated or it's way too expensive, and because of where the technology was, it wasn't realistic to apply it to the consumer life. But we are in a very different time. We're at a very different stage. And a lot of the tech nerds like myself were like crazy excited, but all of the sci-fi nerds are hearing this and they're like, where have I seen this before? Well, just go back to 1984, The Terminator, the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the famous line, "I'll be back," right? And this movie really got everyone thinking about technology, and at the time they were like, man, could you imagine if one day robots were so smart they can perform these tasks, they can actually think and then maybe become our enemy? It's like these crazy thoughts. Well, I'm here to go on record saying I think 2023 is the year of AI. And I really think that the general consumer market is going to be further sort of forced down this rabbit hole of AI and embrace all of this technology. I'm going to make an example here. I'm going to tell a little story and just to help everyone understand this. But if I've had this conversation within the fashion sort of industry. I'm a marketer, right? And I've been a marketer for a very, very long time. I worked in advertising, design, and video production, social media marketing. And I've had these conversations with people in the financial sector, but specifically the consumers. And I always make the argument is that what you wear is actually a byproduct of what's being sold to you and not the decision you're making to buy the product. Now, it might take you a second here to understand that, right? But I want to let that sink in. I want you to process that statement. The argument that I make to consumers of clothing, right, is you're actually not making the decision what to buy. Is you're simply wearing what businesses are deciding that you are going to wear, right? What they put in their stores is what you're going to buy. So they're actually the ones creating the trends and creating the fashion. And I think that's what's true with technology and AI in 2023. So you might be someone who's saying, no, I'm not going to embrace it. I'm not going to use it. No, I don't think it's going to be fully immersive, right? You have all of these rejections, right? These pain points, these obstacles, and you're saying a big fat no. But in reality, guess what? You're not going to make that decision. It's going to be made for you. And your old way of making decisions and doing things, it's going to age out and to become this antiquated form of doing it. And because the world changes around you, you're not going to have a choice but to embrace all that AI affords us. And some of those things that we're already seeing made available to the general consumer market, Things like we've seen now autonomous vehicles. We're seeing smart learning within our households. Whether it be light switches, little fun things like that, or turning on your television, smart TVs. But what about the data behind it? Is that now being managed and cataloged and archived and researched and understood and translated by AI? 100% yes. Really, humans are the ones that are just sort of managing the overall AI, but the AI is actually managing the life. It's crazy to sort of think of, but that's sort of the world that we're living in. And I really think 2023 is going to be the year of AI. I can't say that enough. But I really think that it's going to become streamlined. What makes products acceptable by the general consumer market, and then really just fully immersed into this consumer market, is making it a frictionless experience. And what that means is making it where the average person who has no knowledge of something, no experience, no expertise in an area, can be someone that can operate it without actually being taught much, right? And so if you can streamline it and make it frictionless, now all of a sudden the entire population of the entire globe can adopt it. And that's what's going to happen in 2023. It's this no-code version of AI, where prior is you would had to have some high-level understanding of this stuff in order to create an AI experience. I think now the technology that's been created to support it in 2022 are this no code, where it's like click and drag type of thing. And I think it's going to augment literally every single business that we see. Think about the line of work that you're in. I think there's AI there, and I think if it's not 2023, you're going to see AI managing many aspects. I think it's going to be a very, very cool thing to see this play out, because I think a lot of it's going to be experimentation. So you'll see certain things phase out and they'll fix it. But the cool thing about experimentation as it relates to AI, I think that's one of the incredible benefits of AI, is what we're going to see are safer environments, safer products, because they're able through AI to be able to literally experience it in a much more cost-effective means, in a much safer environment before they actually product test it. And they can actually, because now it's AI and in this augmented virtual reality world, they can make tiny little changes and see how it's going to impact like very, very minuscule things that otherwise would be very hard for us to test out. But in these worlds, we could do that, make these little changes with 3D printing, again, linked through AI, create these little changes and apply it right away and see how it actually impacts the design of certain things. Think about cars, think about other types of products that you're getting maybe at Lowe's, or Home Depot. I don't know where you guys shop for your home improvement stuff, but even food. I know it sounds crazy, right? But food. Imagine the ability to perfect genes, mutated genes through AI to deliver the perfect food product that does not contain, any sort of harmful things, or, growing regenerative, I think technology is going to really take off. I think growing food, I think it's going to really take off. I think that we're going to see even, this is just another crazy example, but I think that in the food world, via technology, via AI, the ability to really understand and study and make things available. I think even meat, I think, is going to be a game changer. I think that we're not going to have to rely on massive livestock farms and butchering, massive amounts of animals to support the food system in various countries around the world. I think they're going to be able to cultivate this stuff in a container through AI. I know it sounds bizarre, but I think that's in 2023. I really firmly believe that. And there's a lot of people right now that are arguing that it's possible that by next year that AI is actually going to outpace the thought process of a human. Thinking capacity. How crazy is that? The data is actually supporting that. And you see some of these images that I'm showing here, right over here. Yeah, this is sort of what we think of when we think of AI. That image, right? But in reality, AI is really everywhere, from robotics, learning, military, finance, and even fun ways. But AI is also integrated in the medical field, and providing the providers and also patients with better products, better understanding of the environments. I think that you're going to see improvements also in robotics, like I just said, in virtual reality world, where I think, right now the metaverse, I think, could be struggling. And I think that improved AI is going to create a more improved user experience. And I see the metaverse becoming more adoptable and more realistic. I really think that you're going to see AI more prominent in the consumer world, where you're going to see staff being forced to even have to work alongside AI. And so there's going to be a great learning curve. And I think it's important for us to start embracing this now. And where I think a lot of the red flags that people are raising are things like, well, AI is going to replace and eliminate all these jobs. I don't see that. I actually look at it from a different perspective. I think it's going to create new jobs. I think evolution, is part of it, as far as the evolution of economy, evolution of just, works and jobs. I think it's just the job changes, and that's okay. And so I think there's going to be tremendous opportunity for our children, for example, to work in these fields, to develop this technologies to create a better world for all of us. There's a lot of arguments made regarding climate change, and this is not about what's your position on climate change, but like I was saying before, with the ability to safely and more economically test and experiment, well, we could do the same thing to support people who are arguing that climate change is a real thing. Well, we can actually immerse ourselves through AI into these worlds to see how decisions that we're making or could impact the future, and then we can apply those changes. So it's going to take a lot of the guessing game out. And for me, I think that is awesome, because you're going to save a lot more time. And if I'm saving time, now that means I'm saving a tremendous amount of money. And if I'm saving money, now I'm making more money. I have more resources to be able to scale and do amazing things. Now that sounds like I'm just talking from, wearing the business hat, but I'm also talking from the family side as well. It's going to make a lot of things that maybe you would argue it's only available to the elite. Well, I think 2023 is going to show and provide everyone an opportunity to allow it to impact their lives and make their lives better, because it's going to be more affordable. And I think it's going to be easier to use. Like I was saying before, this no code based AI, I think it's going to be extraordinary. So buckle your seatbelts, get ready. 2023 is going to be the year of the AI. And you know what's really cool? Which one of you are going to create the next AI technology that's going to change our world? I think it could be any of us. It just requires us to take the idea, put it into action, and then make it available to the world. It's not just the idea. You have to get gritty. You have to put the work in and actually create it, build it, and then make it available. But which one of you are going to create the next AI that it's going to take over all the news headlines? It's going to be sold for, billions upon billions of dollars, right? But more importantly, it's going to change the world. I really think that AI is here, not just to stay. I think it's taking over. Now, I don't think it's going to be like the Terminator, and I don't think that we're going to go to war with AI, but I do think AI is going to help us actually to be a better world. It's going to help us to perform our jobs more effectively. And I think that once we're capable of doing that, I think we're going to be able to make even better strides in all aspects of life. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Curious what your thoughts are on this topic. Do you think AI is taking over? Do you think I'm wrong that it's not going to be like the Terminator? Do you think it's going to be like the Terminator? I'm really curious. I'm also curious, what's your favorite forms of AI? Let me know. Message me. Comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, awesome. Just comment. If you're listening to the show on podcasting, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Just send me a message. Find me somehow. I'm curious what form of AI technology is your favorite, and maybe I'll select a few in the future and I'll do some trial runs with you guys, and I'll record the trial run, test it out myself, and show you guys firsthand what some of these really cool technologies are. But guys, as always, I love you guys. Really appreciate those subscribes, likes, share this. Remember, if you guys can do me a favor, share this with at least one person that you feel might find value in this. And guys, we'll see you next time on Don't Fear Grit. Take care.